Hello, this is Jeff here from Whipbird Botanical. This is a 1 month update for this Windowsill Terrarium I made using some Australian native plants. It was made on the 30th of December. It's now the 9th of February, so it's a month and a week old. And I'm really just gonna talk a little bit about what's happened so far and do a little bit of minor maintenance. So first about what sort of happened. At the beginning, I was having a little bit of an issue with moisture. There's a little bit too much moisture in the setup, so the glass was just constantly completely fogged up. There's still a bit of fog. I'm not sure it'll show up on the camera, but there is still a bit of condensation on the glass, but that's good. That's what I want. But I got a nice clear viewing window, which is nice. So all I did to combat that really was I just went in with like a dishcloth and just wiped the excess moisture out. I did that about once every week, or maybe I think it was twice a week at the start, and then once a week a bit after that. And that was just to get the excess out. And then once I got to a good balance, where sometimes the viewing window is obscured if it's quite warm, but most of the time when it's quite mild in the house, it's you can see in and see what's going on. So in the process, I put some dirt and stuff on the glass, so I'm going to clean that off, which is the main maintenance. About the plants, so the dichondra, you might be able to see just in there, the dichondra's got a browned off leaf. It's actually two browned off leaves in there for the dichondra, and there's also some dying leaves on the commelina down low. The dichondra is also reaching quite a bit for light, so this is a dichondra leaf right up here. It's very hard to see, but sort of next to this commelina leaf here, there's a little dichondra leaf. So it's, put a big, tried to reach out for the light, and that's just because of where it's sitting. It's probably not quite enough light for the dichondra to grow compact, but that's alright. I did want it to do that, to grow compact, but that's alright. I can hopefully over time it'll acclimatise a bit and it'll be a bit more compact in its habit. I'm not sure if dichondra is necessarily a great species for terrariums, but I'm giving it a go. And I think, like I said, a bit of time to acclimatise and it'll be good. So if I spin this around, you can see the viola here at the back is doing kind of what I wanted it to do, being quite large at the back. But it's also sent this new runner out here. So part of the maintenance as well, I'm going to clip it off down here. I'm going to trim it up, and there's another runner coming off it as well. I'm actually going to put that down into the substrate. I was going to leave it attached, but I think I'll be able to maneuver it a bit better, so I might bring it on the other side of the commelina and put it in the substrate there, and then I'll just remove the debris and the excess. And the commelina is going absolutely crazy, so it's already growing really significantly. And if you look at all this root system down in here, that's pretty much all the I'll lift it up, probably see it better. But yeah, that's pretty much all the commelina's root system down there that's running along there. So it's really taken to terrarium life, and I think it's going to be a good species. Maybe a bit too vigorous for this setup, but I'm going to leave it in there and see how it goes. It might end up taking over in the end, but we'll see what happens. And the mosses, so we've got down the front here, we've got the there it is, some of the moss. So we've got thread moss there, and there's another piece just here. They're not super green at the moment, but they are doing quite well, growing quite well. And then I've got another moss, probably maybe able to see it, but there's another moss in there which I believe is a star moss. It's on the other side of that viola, which is also doing quite well. So it's good to see them doing well. And overall the terrarium's in good shape. So I had two little moulding periods, one pretty early on, but only lasted about 2 days. There was just a little bit of mould on the top of the pine stick. And then more recently, which I was actually going to film this video about a week ago, but it was in another moulding process, so I left it. And I'm not sure if you have seen them floating around in here, but the springtails have sort of really colonised the terrarium. There's two actually just moving around there near the moss, but they're all in there. They're sort of everywhere, and they've they sort of took out the mold really quickly. So again, that it was a more significant molding the second time, but it only lasted, I think, about 3 days. There was a little bit more of it though, and it was mostly just on this piece of pine. And I think that what's happened is just excess moisture in the pine bark has just caused a little bit of molding to happen there, because it didn't really happen anywhere else. So yeah, now I'm just going to get into the maintenance and do all those things I said I was going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go in with the scissors, and I'm just going to clip off all the browned off leaves, and then I'll remove them. So just a bit of a closer look at that. That's pretty much how vital it gets around, which is why I thought it'd be a good terrarium species. It does like a lot of water, but yeah, it just sends out these runners, and then they shoot out roots, as you can see here, and they'll come up. There's another little one forming there. So I'm just going to place this in the terrarium, kind of near where the dichondra was originally placed in the front here, but since the dichondra is kind of more just reaching, actually, speaking of dichondra, I'm going to clip this leaf here too. So there's only going to be one leaf left on the dichondra for now, but kind of hoping that it starts to be a bit more compact. Oh, you can see it. Again, it's on a windowsill, so that could be why, because the light's it's directional lighting, so it's reaching for the light. If I had artificial lighting, then that might be a different story, because I have a lot more direct light from above. So yeah, I'm just gonna take this in and just put it into the substrate there. And over by the dichondra, so I should do well there. I should just take root there, and I mean the dichondra gets outcompeted, and it gets outcompeted. I'm not too worried about that. I got plans to use it in some different builds anyway to give it a bit more of a trial run. But yeah, the Commelina, I may have called it Commissaria at some stage, but the Commelina is doing quite well. I wouldn't mind getting it to root at a node as well, because it does do that. But yeah, maybe once this gets longer, I can stick it in the other side. But I'm just going to move it down a little bit for now, because it's sort of reaching and it's hitting the top of the jar. So now I've just sort of, as you see, I've just sort of pushed it into the substrate a bit there. It will probably actually root from there. But that's just to keep it down a bit, because it was like this piece is doing, it's kind of pushing up at the cork. Yeah, so that's that bit done. I'm now just going to give the glass a bit of a wipe down, because you can see there's a bit of debris and stuff in there. So I've just got a microfiber cloth. I'm just going to go in just with my finger. This actually might be a bit big of a cloth. Let's see if I can get some of that. It's kind of hard because that's getting in the way. Just try and get some of that debris out. Really, that's all I'm worried about here. The glass is actually pretty clean, not the glass itself, but there's just that debris on it. So if I can get the debris, then I'll be happy. Yeah, looks like I got most of it. It's been open for a little while, so I might just give it a little quick squirt on the front there. Again, I'll just use that to clean the glass a little bit in this front viewing window, and that should also add moisture back in that's just been lost in this process. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Pop the cork back on, and yeah, it's all done. So this is how the terrarium looks after I've done that maintenance, and this is the main sort of viewing port. It was supposed to be like this, but there is a, I don't know if it shows up, there's a seam in the glass just here, so I actually just turned it, and I realised I quite like how it looks from this angle anyway. I think it's a little bit more dynamic. Yeah, so all I did was, like you saw me do, was just I clipped that runner off the viola and stuck it down over here, trimmed up the dichondra. Hopefully it starts to sort of matte a bit more, maybe move across the front here. I just left the mosses, they didn't really need anything done to them. And then I just pushed the commelina down into the substrate here at the back, just to bring it down because it was reaching up the top up here. So I just did that to bring all the plants actually down a bit, and to hopefully have them not block the light out as much. So yeah, that's ready to go back onto the windowsill now, where it belongs. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye for now.